want to bring back Pooja Shali on this broadcast. She's reporting from outside Tihar jail, where you had a handful of AAP supporters also registering their protest. We've been seeing this from day one, Pooja. The Aam Aadmi Party ensuring that they show their solidarity with Arvind Kejriwal the moment he's out of the ED office, and here on, of course, it will be out of Tihar jail. But the Aam Aadmi Party also, with regards to, their face now being behind bars, is going to be facing a huge crisis to ensure that they keep this narrative alive and ensure that towards the assembly elections, as you pointed out, the Aam Aadmi Party continues to remind their voters about what's happened with Arvind Kejriwal to ensure that they really, they can get any sort of sympathy factor going in this.
Akshita, you've in fact raised a very important point, and I want to get you into the detail of that. Whether it's the Congress party, which is a grand old party, or any other party, it's been in a showdown with the Bharatiya Janata Party. But look at how Aam Aadmi Party has got the street cadre into action and is making all the surround sound, whether it's audible to one and all or visible on the streets. Right here outside the Tihar prison, this is what I'm noticing. Sir, 2 minutes aapse lena chahungi. Look at this banner. I request Sanjeev ji to focus on that. They themselves have put up a poster and a photograph of Arvind Kejriwal behind the iron bars and says, Modi ka sabse bada dar Kejriwal. Prime Minister Modi's biggest fear is Arvind Kejriwal. They are literally pinning Arvind Kejriwal next to Prime Minister Modi, saying it's not about the parties, it's not ideological, he's scared of Arvind Kejriwal. So the Aam Aadmi Party already raising the bar in the way that they are saying not just about sympathy or emotional card, but they're also stating this is political fear of the government at the centre. This is what Aam Aadmi Party has been known to do. Compared to the Twitter war that other parties indulge in, it is the Aam Aadmi Party that is quick to come on the streets. That's what they had done in 2011, in 2013, as India Gets Corruption earlier, then in 2013 as Aam Aadmi Party, then 2015, and then continue to do that. They have people across on the streets to at least show their solidarity and show of strength. But this is not going to be enough, because the fact remains eventually Aam Aadmi Party wants to be in the government. It's looking very difficult right now. While Somnath Bharti, who I spoke to earlier, said it's the BJP misusing, BJP has taken all the money, it has turned people accused into approvers for money. But importantly, what are the charges, Akshita? What does the ED have to prove? ED has to prove that the money that came into the Aam Aadmi Party for the liquor policy from private individuals, private players who were involved with the liquor business, that came through Hawala channel. BRSS K Kavita sent money through Hawala channels. They will have to prove it in the court of law and then prove that this money was not just for liquor policy. It was laundered then to Goa assembly elections. It's not going to be an easy chain trail. It will have to be a solid evidence. If this is not proven, you can imagine how Arvind Kejriwal will want to bounce back as perhaps a bigger face that he was specifically facing political vendetta. But the ED and then possibly CBI next maintain that there is solid evidence of that corruption, and that will have to be proven in the times to come. But looking at Manish Sisodia, who continues to be behind bars for over a year, it's not looking too good for the Delhi Chief Minister.
Pooja, just stay with me. Even as, we're talking about how the Aam Aadmi Party is going to steer this extremely challenging time, Arvind Kejriwal's confinement is leaving AAP reeling and facing an uphill battle to essentially salvage its political fortunes. The party is gearing up to navigate through this crisis with strategic moves. They may actually go ahead and challenge the Prime Minister on what they term as dictatorial governance, which you've heard repeatedly from several AAP leaders, while being steadfast on maintaining their stance on running the government from jail. Besides that, we hear that they can also take legal recourse if the Lieutenant Governor recommends President's rule, which he hasn't done just yet, building a narrative really around the majority government being brought down, saying we have the numbers, but you've chosen to bring us down, and thereby believing that they'll have a political advantage as well. Now, besides that, AAP may utilize Sunita Kejriwal as a key figure to get that emotional appeal, a sympathetic wave going for Arvind Kejriwal. Top leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party are right now locked up in Tihar. Bhagwat Mann, therefore, is going to be taking on a national campaigner role, while Sandeep Pathak will work as a behind-the-scenes strategist. Atishi and Saurabh, meanwhile, are expected to take charge of running the Delhi government. Gopal Rai will manage MLA's concerns and ensure that the flock remains together.
जुडिशियल कस्टडी में भेज दिया है 14 दिन के लिए। नेक्स्ट हेयरिंग जो है केजरीवाल की वो 15 अप्रैल रहेगी। तो अब जुडिशियल कस्टडी में जाने का मतलब ये है कि भी अब हमारे पास राइट है कि हम बेल के लिए मूव कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि जब तक पुलिस कस्टडी रहती है तब तक बेल में मूव नहीं कर सकते। तो अब हमारे लीगल टीम डिस्कस करके उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आगे का कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन क्या होगा वो तय करेंगे। बाकी ईडी की तरफ से अब कस्टडी खत्म और अब जुडिशियल कस्टडी स्टार्ट।
पूरे देश में लगातार असंवैधानिक तरीके से, अनैतिक तरीके से विधायकों, सांसदों की खरीद फरोख्त करके, दबाव बना के, केंद्रीय एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग करके भारतीय जनता पार्टी ऑपरेशन लोटस के नाम पे लगातार इलेक्टोरल डेमोक्रेसी को अस्थिर करती रही है।
Now, the biggest crisis and the immediate one that the Aam Aadmi Party has to deal with is how to run Delhi with Arvind Kejriwal behind bars in Tihar jail. What's clear is that he's not going to step down as a Delhi Chief Minister, and he's going to remain at the same time in Tihar jail till April 15th. And everything, obviously, will have to continue running. You can't hit the pause button on governance. So can Arvind Kejriwal actually run the Delhi government from Tihar jail? According to the Delhi Prison Act of 2000, only the Delhi Lieutenant Governor, Vinay Kumar Saxena, can decide on whether the government can be run from jail or not. So he can go ahead and stop it if he wants. So far, he hasn't really done that. According to the jail manual, Kejriwal will not be allowed to sign any file or any document. Only 3 people can visit jail concurrently, and the window for that meeting hour starts from 9:30 in the morning and ends at about 12:30 in the afternoon. No in-person meetings will be allowed for the Delhi Chief Minister. And all of these are going to be huge challenges and hindrances if you really want to ensure smooth governance of Delhi. Atishi, meanwhile, had claimed that Kejriwal will very much remain the Chief Minister of Delhi. This was when he was held by the probe agency while he was in ED custody. Does that change now is really the big question.
सरकार चलाना कोई फाइलें साइन करना नहीं होता खाली। हाँ, फाइलें साइन करना अगर होता है तो आप फाइलें साइन करो, वो तो आप कर, अगर उसको सरकार चलाना कहते हैं, पर वैसा नहीं है। सरकार चलाने के लिए आपको कैबिनेट मीटिंग में बुलानी पड़ेगी, मंत्रियों से बार बार आपको कंसल्ट करना पड़ेगा, जो आपके हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं उनसे आपको करना पड़ेगा, और काफ़ी सारा स्टाफ होता है उनसे आपको कंसल्ट करना पड़ेगा। जेल में सीएमओ ऑफिस क्रिएट करना वो इम्पॉसिबल है, अनलेस, अब मैं इसमें अनलेस भी आपको करके बता रहा हूँ, अनलेस कि जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है उनको पावर है, वो किसी भी जगह को जो है स्पेशल जेल डिक्लेयर कर सकते हैं।
So here are the challenges really for Arvind Kejriwal. The hindrances that won't allow him to really ensure that governance continues as per normal, or that he can continue as the Chief Minister. First, unlike ED custody, no daily visits here are allowed. So for him to communicate to the AAP leadership itself will be a huge challenge. Files to the Lieutenant Governor for approval go via Kejriwal. So the AAP will have to come up with an alternative now, one that's also agreeable for the Lieutenant Governor. Kejriwal will have to delegate the cabinet meet task to a minister, because obviously it's impossible for him to go ahead and convene a cabinet meet while seated in Tihar jail. The authorities simply will not allow so many people to come together. No in-person meetings are possible for transfers and postings, another crucial part of the CMO, and this is something that's virtually impossible now. So these are the challenges. It's not going to be smooth governance, and how really Kejriwal overcomes these challenges will remain a big question. Before now, with Arvind Kejriwal going behind bars in Tihar jail, we'll have to see if the Aam Aadmi Party kind of switches their political strategy.